the backstory thing.
Yeah, I didn't not care about these characters.
I didn't like his backstory. I don't like how he got his name, Suneater. That's misleading. It's just I don't care about it.
It is a little misleading.
Yeah,
I give you that.
So, honestly, the way that his name was created is kind of low key strange though, because
that's what I don't like it at all.
He used to call Muriel the sun or whatever, but then Muriel's like, but no, but you can eat the sun. So I'm like, hold on, is he low key saying that he can eat him?
I could see Muriel being gay though. Okay. I could see it.
That's how they want to roll. I ain't judging motherfuckers.
Yeah, nothing like that.
No comment.
Anyway, yeah.
Yo, Mr. Good Guy here, aka MGG, and you just joined the decent crew. We're just a group of guys who discuss, review, rank, and poke fun at all the things we love and hate in manga, anime, and everything else. So sit back and relax because it's all decent over here, man. Run it.
I've been working on this record for a minute. Still I feel like nothing that I do is good enough. My insecurities are creeping in, so they will sleep until the music ain't funny when other people see your pain as I'm using the.
Let's move on to Boku no Hero 140. Yeah, somebody was sleeping. But yeah, so we just get a flashback of Suneater in the beginning of this chapter. Finding out how he was basically like kind of always been somebody who was like wallowed in self-pity and shit like that. But he's been friends with Togata since like childhood. And that guy has like been helping him get through shit. So it's kind of like a inverse relationship to Bakugo and Deku, where they actually have like a good friendship and they've been motivating each other to get stronger in like a friendlier way than these two guys are. So we go into basically Suneater trying to take these guys on themselves, these three expendables. Their powers kind of was hard to gather at first, but let me see if I can find their names. Suneater is able to do some good initial moves on them. But, okay, here we go. So, Larceny, Crystallization, and Meal. Setsuno, Hojo, and Tabe are the name of these guys. So, from the Larceny guy, it looks like his ability is to take items that other people have.
Literally just Larceny.
Crystallization, he just basically hardens himself, but he gets like these little crystals on his body. So, and then Meal, we haven't really found out what he can do yet. So, he's basically trying to take those on in the beginning. He's able to steal some weapons for them, break them. And then he's just basically like fighting them while those guys are still around and trying to convince them to like let him handle this themselves. So then Eraser helps him out a little bit. He tries to fight the Meal guy. It looked like he tried to snap Buddy neck, but I think he just smacked him. And then from there, we also find out that the guys finally decide to leave and let Suneater fight for himself. But we find out that Eraser can use his power without actually having to stare at them. So he can like take away someone's power for a certain amount of time, and he doesn't have to actually stare at them that whole time or whatever. So he like, so that was definitely very different, and I didn't know he could do that. But that's actually like really cool ability to find out about. So he basically helps Suneater out by shutting their powers off for a little bit, so that he can help subdue them easier. They kind of like distract him with talking, so it doesn't last very long. The Crystallization guy comes out, punches dude. Larceny guy does some shit, but we still don't see anything from the Meal buddy. Then we go back to Suneater's flashback and basically how him and Togata's relationship is kind of structured. How Suneater has always been like a guy with a lot of potential, and Togata has kind of had to like, people been sleeping on him. So they just talk about their friendship more, blah 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 blah. It wasn't really a whole lot of deep there, and it was just motivation for him to turn up at the end of this chapter. So it looks like we're gonna get like a conclusion to this fight next chapter and see like some better moves than the ones we're seeing now, because I actually don't like the way Suneater fights. But
some people, I think some
you say you like it?
I don't like it.
Oh, good.
I think in the comments, some people were saying that this was a fuse between two different animals.
I was just thinking about that.
With this attack?
Yeah, so it looked like there's octopus there, but it could also be like that lobster claw that he had that's around it.
I thought it was just a crab hand.
You thought it was just a crab hand?
I thought it was just regular hand made of like the outside of a crab or a lobster.
Oh, well, crabs don't have the octopus tentacles or whatever. The suction cups.
That one I didn't get. I didn't get what that one was at all.
So it could be a fusion, which I'm actually fine with.
Why don't you like how he fights though?
I just think like I want his power to go further than that. I don't like the
before he actually fought.
I don't like the food aspect.
That's why I didn't like him at the beginning.
But I mean, I didn't like Toriko because of the food aspect either.
Not the food aspect, it's because his powers are like
food based.
You can eat anything, and you choose to eat an octopus. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm like, so okay, whatever.
Then you can eat a whole bear.
But if he can fuse these things, that'll definitely like play to his ability. And obviously, I think this arc is a bunch of like, here's the next level to everyone's powers shit.
Like I'd be eating.
Can he eat inanimate objects?
I think that at a high level, it'll
get
to that point.
And turn his entire body diamond, be hard as hell.
I think at like a high level, it'll get to that point. But even at the same time, there's like things he could probably do where he can still eat normal food and just play off the rules of that animal. Because there's like animals that they say, well, if this guy was like human sized, he would have like the strength of a diamond. Like a lot of insects have those like properties where if they were like human sized,
like if he ate an ant and a shark, he'd be a shark with the strength of an ant, which is strong as fuck.
Yeah, I don't know, something like that. Yeah, but I think he'll play more off that maybe than instead of eating inanimate objects.
He's low key. No, I ain't gonna say it.
What?
I was gonna say he could low key be kind of like the Kaido's crew. How they turn their body parts into like random animals.
Oh, like how they're all animal focused.
Yeah.
I actually did like how he fought, like when he came out with inside the shell and shooting that like tentacles out. I thought that was kind of funny.
Oh,
that was kind of dope.
I mean, but didn't he do that before when they first debuted his power? Mm-hmm. When it was fighting against some random crook or whatever when he got shot.
But it didn't look as cool though. Like when he's in the air with the shit and he's like hiding, he's like protecting himself with the shell. It was funny. Until Deuce stole the shell from him.
I do think these people aren't amplified yet, right? So I think at some point in this fight they're gonna do that too.
What's that?
Where they take that drug. I think they're gonna get juiced.
Yeah.
Another thing that's interesting I like is this. There's not a lot of originality, I guess. Like this is the third hardening court guy we've seen. Like I feel like eventually we're gonna get a point where they start bucketing the power types. Like actually explain to us the different classes of power. Where there's like these hardening type guys. There's like the strength amplification guys, which is like Deku, and then there's that guy who eats sugar and gets stronger or whatever. Like he looks like a regular hero. He has like these big fat lips. Like he's in the school, but
is that guy,
his power is like
Deku, like
he eats sugar and gets stronger, huh?
It's that big muscular guy.
I don't remember his name, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
He could probably shoot off whatever he's made of, though. I think that's diamond. He could probably like turn his hand into like some type of diamond and then like shoot it off at people.
Yeah.
So I guess they can make him a bit different than.
I mean, Theo could do that too. The rock guy. Yeah, well, didn't he like do something like that when he like
he didn't shoot anything off.
Oh, never mind.
But yeah,
I can see it happening though.
Yeah, I think maybe at some point we're just gonna get a classification of these like these quirks. Like, oh, here's this bucket of strength amplification. Here's this bucket of hardening type quirks. And then here's these like anomaly ones where it's like it's really hard to grasp what they might be doing, but I don't know. That was interesting to me too. Other than that, I'm just interested to see this fight. I don't know what the fuck the meal guy's power is yet. I'm waiting to see that. And the Eraser thing was definitely a highlight as well. The fact that Eraser had never showed us that he had the fucking ability to like just disable niggas' powers.
I feel like he said that he had to look at them though. I feel like
yeah, he did.
So then he leveled up out of nowhere.
I don't even think he leveled up. I think he had it in his pocket, but like you have to think about it, he's just been going against kids this whole time. So he's like, yeah, it's not that fucking serious.
When the niggas first broke into the
we talking about niggas that beat his ass?
Yes.
So he
might have been sleeping on them though.
Nah, he probably just leveled up.
You think so?
Yes, why are you gonna use that shit? Because
I also feel like because the thing is like this word of mouth shit because they also heard about him. Like they were like, oh shit, I did hear that they had this one nigga. Like with Eraser, you got to be very careful about niggas knowing who the fuck he is. So I feel like there's certain things he might. Yeah, I feel like there's certain things he might keep in the pocket that he does have because if like niggas know that, then they're even more worried about it.
So in that case, he definitely would have used. I don't think he would have just get his ass beat just to hide his.
I'm trying to figure out though when he
got jumped technically.
Did it actually?
Maybe that's fine.
Did he activate it on one of them and it worked? Like it actually took their strength away, or did it just not? Oh, okay. So it actually worked. He actually activated his quirk and it did something to them.
Yeah.
Oh, and then he just couldn't like keep it. But he couldn't hold it.
But he just got jumped.
No, my thing like I didn't like. They're not looking at the thing is fine,
that.
but this nigga left the whole fight. He wasn't even there and still was working.
And what was that shit that he did? Did he like fucking chop his hand through the person's hand?
That's what I thought. He snapped Buddy neck when he went there. Like when
He got
I
hands,
was
he
like,
got
I
hands,
was
though.
like, yo,
He could
Razorhead,
fight.
you on that? But nah, yeah. So that's interesting to see. I'm sure there's a bunch of other motherfuckers with these. It just makes me hyped to know that there's other niggas probably with like these secret shits in their back pocket. Like we think we know their limits, but they actually got this other level of their power that we didn't think about. So yeah, I'm ready to rate it. If y'all don't got anything else to add, I will give this a. It's pretty much set up, so it's probably not higher than a decent plus, probably. Can't get a decent rating. There's a lot of decent pluses going around.
Well, I'm gonna give it a decent, decent and decent pluses. This entire episode has just been decent pluses.
Fairy Tail.
But I give it a decent.
Yeah, you guys did.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a decent. I think it's just more setup. I don't care too much about Suneater. The backstory thing.
Yeah, I didn't not care about these characters.
I didn't like his backstory. I don't like how he got his name, Suneater. That's misleading. It's just I don't care about it.
It is a little misleading. I'll give you that.
So,
honestly, the way that his name was created is kind of low key strange though, because
that's what I don't like it at all.
He used to call Muriel the sun or whatever, but then Muriel was like, but no, you can eat the sun. So I'm like, hold on, is he low key saying that he can eat him?
I could see Muriel being gay though. I could see it.
That's how they want to roll. I ain't judging motherfuckers.
Yeah. Not that I care.
No comment.
Anyway, yeah.
No comment there.
Did you rate it?
Yeah, I said it's also a decent plus for me. I'm not really excited about this Suneater fight. It's mad.
It's funny. He was, now he's not.
You said he was what?
Yeah, you were excited about him, right? Suneater at first.
He's talking about you, MGG.
Oh, never mind.
Oh yeah, I mean a little bit. I was excited because of his name. Sounded badass. Now I still do think that I just like if I had this nigga power, I'd just be using it better than he was. That's pretty much where it goes.
All the time. Dude.
Yeah, like
everything.
There'd just be too much things I could experiment with.
You have two things at once.
Yeah, probably 2 or 3 things.
But there'd just be way too much shit I experiment with, right? Like that by now he should have been figured out, but it's all because of his low self-esteem bullshit. That's fucking with his ability to be broken as fuck, which is what Togata basically said. He's like, nigga, you strong as hell, but you just being a bitch most of the time. So
you holding yourself back.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, but other than that, yeah, I mean, I still fuck with him. Just hopefully this next chapter, my proof will finally come.
You're basically saying if it was anybody else with his power, they'd just be murking everybody all over the place. So.
Oh yeah, he's acting like a female almost. It's like Baraka got his power.
I mean, we did confirm that like these niggas are stronger than actual heroes though.
Yeah, Facom said it right.
They keep saying that they're stronger than.
I still don't like that statement, but I guess I get it. It's tough though, because I just feel like the path. One is just okay. There's just not enough villains in that world. That's what I'm about to like rack it up to. Like it's too easy to become a hero in that world.
Unless there's too many of them just
way
behind
too fucking
bars.
easy. Huh?
Unless it's just too many.
It's too many heroes. It's too many heroes.
Yeah.
No, I mean, but that's the entire point of dude as the guy with the sword. Yeah, that's part of his theology. It's too many heroes and y'all ain't real heroes.
I mean, maybe there was a much more even balance between the two until freaking All Might came out of nowhere and just locked all those motherfuckers.
Yeah, he made people want to be heroes too.
Yeah, so it's probably gonna be some type of huge jailbreak where all of these fucking villains just come out of the woodworks and then just go in.
Lucy ass lead the way.
It's gonna be hella losses on both sides. So that'll be an exciting point when it comes up. But for right now, we just gotta sit here and
get these decents. All these decents.
You still with us, MGG?
Yeah.
Yo, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed what you saw, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share the video. If you want to hear some more content, check out our other videos on the channel, or you can check out our podcast, The Decent Podcast, where we talk about all this and more. Links to all of our social media will be in the description box below. In the meantime, in between time, I gotta go get something to eat. I'm out of here. Peace.
I want it all. I said I'm mentally tough. Oh, what you thought I would quit? Even on days when I feel at my worst, I will get off my ass and then get back to work. Law. Ain't nobody gonna get it for you. Better go ahead and get it by your motherfucking self. By yourself, nigga. Ain't nobody gonna get it for you. Better go ahead and get it by your motherfucking self. By yourself, nigga. Ain't nobody gonna get it for you. Better go ahead and get it by your motherfucking self, nigga. Ain't no damn excuses. All of those are useless. I don't ever use it. Don't ever confuse it. Law.